Look at this one because that one will be current. That one is on a delay. Okay, all right, America. Hello, hello, America. It's me, John Graham, right here on a new edition of Amplified Voices on this Friday, March 27th, 2026. And we have a full house in the office tonight. We're actually going to get even more roomier when we potentially get more people at after 6:30. So let me introduce everyone. I'm John Graham, obviously. This is Caden. That is Will, and we got Johnny on camera one. So yes, so we can see him. So let's go ahead. So how was everyone's week? First of all,
It has been good.
that's good.
I work at a grocery store. I think you know. It's just completely random.
Let's go ahead. So how was everyone's absolutely. Johnny, how was your week?
It has
It's been a week for sure.
Yeah, that's good. So one of the things we want to talk about tonight is our social gathering that we did as a group last weekend. And also, I'm pulling up Facebook now so we can follow along with your with your comments. I'm actually going to go ahead and put this right here so Caden can see them as well. Yeah. Last week Johnny, suggested that we go to an escape room, and and we tried out Locked Up, and Johnny, you want to kind of give everyone kind of like a history on why we did this as a group?
So apparently, with the group now, we've discovered a lot more just membership within the friend group and everything. So my idea with an escape room was to kind of bring back friendships of loose and ends and trying to regain it. And that was my entire goal for that. It wasn't just for us to have fun and us to eventually escape. News alert, we didn't. But it was just so we can able to rebuild the friendships that were lost for a little bit.
Yeah. Because I definitely think communication is key, and we still kind of have those issues. Not gonna lie, and there's just kind of a message. I think I'll wait for this from Arlene. And we still kind of have those issues. And maybe it's just Facebook that wants to be slow, but yeah. And so we did. Well, actually, Will, do you want to talk about the escape room itself, and then and then we can kind of give us
I was gonna say we can all share our opinions basically. So I can share mine, of course. So basically, because this was my first time doing an escape room, I wasn't really sure what to expect in a sense. I kind of thought maybe is it just that we're going to be in all in one room, or so that turned out to be true. It was just one room, so to say. But I would say that it was a lot more complicated in the sense that you do had to have a lot of brain power to do it. But also, you had to have a lot of teamwork to play in it, because I feel like in the first 1/3, or I would more say 1/4 of the escape room time, we were kind of just getting the bearings and understanding what all was in the room. But then once we sort of got ourselves situated, that's when we started sort of teaming up more and focusing on one clue at a time, which that did make things sort of pace up after that. I think it's just that because we didn't have that initial momentum in the beginning of knowing what to do, that we didn't quite make it, because even the hosts themselves said that we were like 90% through it. And I feel like if we got our bearings earlier on and were working together immediately, I think we maybe could have got out. So, but that's just my thoughts. But overall, I would say for a 5 out of 10 difficulty first time doing an escape room together, almost getting 90% of it done, I would still say that's an accomplishment of itself. And I feel like one of the biggest things I always learn and always tell myself is you learn a lot more when you lose than when you win. So you can take the lessons more seriously. It's like, okay, we were this close, but we can obviously learn from it and get better at it, and we know what to do going forward. If we won, we might not have thought so deep into it. So that's just what my opinions are, and I will say that it did sort of pique my interest towards escape rooms in general, and because of that, me and my family are going to be doing a escape room together at Escapology, and it's called the Budapest Express, which, remind me again, is Budapest in Asia, or?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, is that like in Bhutan or something?
It's in Asia.
Yeah, I know. I'm just wondering which country it's from, because I know Buddhism is like from
Hindu, but that's also Hinduism.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure which country it's from, but basically you're on a train and you have to find the murderer before the train stops. And yeah, and I think it'll be interesting because, one, it's my family that's I'm doing it with, and 2, I feel like this escape room might be more tailored to me because I'm sort of the good guy in the story, whereas the last one we were the bad guys, and I'm not really into being a bad guy, you know, because it's like, what do you do as a bad guy in this situation? Yeah, it's easy. Yeah, it's easy. Yeah, it's easier for me to know what to do as a good guy in a storyline than compared to a bad guy. So yeah. So there's that happening, and I'm excited for that. So, but what were your guys' thoughts?
I mean, I didn't go because I didn't feel good.
Yeah.
There's that.
Yeah. And I mean, I definitely would love to include I would say I would say if we picked one again, I definitely would want to include Will, Caden, Johnny, Aaron, Aaron and Troy, and Jake. Now I'm obviously not going to name drop anyone, but like, I mean, I definitely felt like there was some some separation from the task at hand, but the thing is that I felt like I felt like once this other person like they kind of got distracted, I mean, they really helped out, I would say, a little bit more with the like they helped out with a little bit more with towards the end, like when we were trying to crack the puzzle, but I pretty much knew that we were gonna, or I mean, I pretty much knew, like, once we were down to the last 5 minutes that we were gonna run out of time. But I definitely felt like we were close, and we were like 89 to like or 85 to 90% finished. So I mean, and the fact that was out of a difficulty of 5 out of 10, like that, that's something. The fact that we made it that far, out of something somewhat difficult. I think that's something to be proud of. And I do feel like in time that what Johnny wants to accomplish with the group in terms of like friendships, bonding, and just kind of like, I feel like the big issue is trust and miscommunication. Now obviously for some it's, I feel like for some the point just doesn't sometimes hit there, but for a lot of our group, I have seen a lot of change for the better. And again, like, because like as we adapt as a group and as we add more people in, you're gonna get those different perspectives, those different opinions, those different interests. So it's always good to have that. And it's always good to have that, in there. So, and I mean, I kind of wish that, I will admit that like I'm smart in some capacity, but like word puzzles and all those, like,
I cannot do word puzzles. I am terrible at English. So if we do another escape room and I'm involved, if it involves a word puzzle, I'm out.
I felt like I could be doing a lot more, but like, obviously I know that, and that's why I was trying to, keep up to date, or like, keep the, keep on mentioning like the clues and whatnot, and just kind of, keep the group invested. So, and that was my part, is that I was the commentator of the group, and kind of
the narrator of the group.
Yeah. So, and that was my part. True. Yeah. I mean, I felt like Johnny had some responsibility with that too, as did Troy. Johnny, what was your well, I think, hi Alex. My good old Amazon friend. But anyway, yeah, Johnny, what was your opinion?
I think it was great. I mean, obviously fitting into other like different people's shoes, like as Will suggested with the Budapest Express, since that's going to be more of the good guys, and to feel like how it can be with the bad guys. I mean, sometimes I do feel bad for the bad guys, because like they've been through something. That's why they're doing it. And like, even though it was a 5 out of 10 rating, I feel like we obviously did pretty good. I mean, it was just a lot of crampedness too, and us like taking way too long just clear one part was exhausting. And Will, I hope you're ready for an 8 out of a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something wrong?
For some reason, it's not.
And Will, I hope you're ready for an 8 out of 10.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, Will, are you ready for the 8 out of 10?
I would say so, because as I heard, like sometimes like the difficulty might not be as like misleading depending on like what type of mystery it is, because like there are some mysteries that are more tailored towards certain people compared to others, like some escape rooms are where you're trying to escape from a bad situation. Some escape rooms are where you're attempting a bad situation. Some you're trying to solve a mystery or a murder. You know, some people are specialized in their own sort of talents. That's kind of why, like, for example, detectives, like, they might have specific roles in terms of what are they trying to discover in terms of detective work. Like, some people are better for homicides, some better for tracking bad guys. Just examples like those. Like, everyone is better at certain mysteries than others. And I feel like this Budapest Express might be more tailored for me as far as solving mysteries.
Yeah.
And also because I'm doing it with my family as well, because I kind of already get an idea of, like, what to expect from them in terms of, like, who's going to be good at what in terms of solving a mystery. Like, I know my stepmom has some experience with nonverbal communication, so that means that she might be surprisingly good at doing Morse code or stuff like that. And as far as my brothers and my dad, I'm sure my dad, he might be really good at, like, solving, like, economic-based puzzles. Like, if that is something that you might face, like how we were dealing with economic puzzles in the vault, because he's a banker, so he knows a lot about that stuff. As far as my brothers, that's what I'm most curious about. It's like, I've never seen what are they most specialized at, because as far as work-wise, they work at fast food joints. One of them at Dairy Queen, the other at Salvatore's. But I'm always wondering, like, what else are they really good at? Like, I know my middle brother used to be good at skateboarding until he got an ACL tear, and then my youngest brother has always been into basketball since 9th grade. So those are just some main trademarks that I always remember them for. But what else could they be really good at? And I think this will kind of be a good test for everyone to see, like, what all are we good at compared to everyone else. So, yeah, that's just what my thoughts are going into it. So, yeah.
For sure. And, you know, I will say, you know, because I did a sponsored event with MEE when we you know, when I was working with them, and they did a escape room live remote. I think I was with Boomer actually, and you know, and it was so cool because we could see behind the scenes, kind of like because basically you're locked up in a room, you know, for an hour with, you know, people that you know, and you know, and there are cameras throughout the room, and, you know, so people who are working at these escape rooms, they can see you, they can hear you, you know, so when we were Boomer, like, you know, I could see I could see how or like, you know, how like, you know, how they can put in, like, the clues for the room, and you know, and just how and just kind of see how everyone has to be unanimous, because you get 4 clues, and or like, you get 4 clues, and it has to be unanimous. Like, you know, like, one person, myself, cannot, like, you know, count, you know, just, you know, ask for a clue.
Even though you did that.
Yeah, I did.
I did the puzzle. Why can't I get the clue?
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, and Jake and Johnny were honestly, you know, saying, yeah, maybe not. Maybe you don't really need a clue right now. So, But hey, that's okay.
Yeah. I guess the only thing I want to add is to ask is in regards to how like they do watch you through cameras and all that to keep track with you. But the thing I'm curious about is, do they like share like if you were to ask them like, could we like see the footage by chance? Like, do they allow that stuff? Like, do they like if they had a YouTube channel, like would they post it there or not? I'm not sure how that works.
So in the back, they actually have it. So if like you're unable to do it, you could still watch it happen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I'm not sure like how that works, because obviously you can't record your experience yourself, but I wonder if like they do it at all. Because
are you?
I'm not sure like how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you more so asking like if they will release the video to you once you're done?
Kind of both. Like if you're done, and also if you like let them know like, hey, I'm open to like seeing the footage back if it's an option. Yeah.
I'm just gonna be watching all of us group in that one small room.
And just all pile into one room and just kind of see what happens.
Yeah, because we did that until we figured out the sticky notes.
That was the funniest part too. Was that was the funniest part? Like was when the TV said continuously said, make sure the cameras cannot see you, and I'm the one that saw the sticky notes. Like, well actually, I know that Johnny and I both saw the sticky notes, and I think Johnny said like it's not important right now, no. Johnny said Johnny said maybe they left it there.
Yeah, I thought they just left it there on accident.
I think it's one of those things like when you like discover something too early, but then you don't think about it until it like hits you like, oh, why are there 3 sticky notes? But then when that clue finally comes up, it's like, oh, that would make sense now. But it's just because you discovered it too early and you're focused with other things which then led up to it, you don't really think back to it.
Yeah, exactly. So, So that I think was probably the funniest moment.
Like 8 dudes just trying to huddle up in one tiny 4x4 room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I do feel bad for like the people that could make the most room compared to ones that took up the most room.
I don't like how this is slow. Okay.
Which I do.
Yeah. It's not even showing us live updates. Okay, so
Oh.
I can
pull it up on my phone.
So So Will, do you want to read that comment?
Okay. So I'll read the comment out. This is from Arlene. I don't think they record the rooms. They may just watch the progress and people in the room for safety precaution. Okay. So I'll read the comment out. Which that's totally understandable. Yeah. I just always wonder in those few YouTube videos I sometimes see of escape rooms, it's they never show the actual experience in the escape room. So yeah. They never show the actual experience. Yeah, but then again, those are people that probably have a high standard. They could be allowed to do it compared to just a casual competitor. But yeah, I was just curious if it does happen or not. Which which I'm sure they do it at some places, but probably more places at higher standards where they have famous people do their experiences, and they probably want to record their experience for promotional purposes. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you dropping metal?
Yeah. As Kane said, it won't be the last.
Yeah.
It won't ever be the last.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as I have one, it's gonna get
He's dropped it in the mall before.
I drop this all the time, but there's no way to list off.
It won't be the last. To your point, I don't.
Yeah. It's kind of it's just kind of funny seeing it in a sense, considering I work at a metal factory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
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 It's
So much,
yeah.
so much, I use them or I drop it, or
Yeah.
it's kind of break.
Yeah, it's just
I
kind
got
of funny
spares.
seeing it in a sense.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
needs a metal detector though if he loses them.
Oh no, trust me, I found them. Trust me,
Yeah.
I'm good at, I drop them so often I can find them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Okay. All right. So but yeah. All right. So now since we have such a big group of audience watching us, I do want to announce this right now. So this is pretty big news. And this is going to be finalized on Monday. But so you guys might have heard of M's radio group. They have been having a couple of issues, or they're basically downsizing one of their radio stations, and they have offered us they've offered us 96.9 FM, and it's going to be signed on Monday. So I have permission, to announce that we're going to start fundraising for this very, very soon. You'll be able to hear, and like 96.9 can get up to like 300,000 people listening. So it can go up all the way. Actually, I was going to show the guys here in a minute. What it is, or how far it reaches. But yeah. So Johnny's mom just.
Hey mom.
just said, hey. So yeah. Okay, I gotta figure it out.
And also, someone point out, thanks for everyone that is sparing their time and come see us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, oh wait, that's from last year. Okay, so this is. Okay, this. All right, so all right, so I'm showing the map for. Yeah. So this is the map, and we're gonna do a Kickstarter on this in about probably a month or two, and and it reaches all the way up from Huntertown, Cherubusco, Auburn, and Waterloo. Yeah. So we're so thrilled to have this opportunity. And of course, we will make the announcement official on our Spectrum page here, probably around the time that we launch our Kickstarter for the first time. But we have a lot of backers, so we have promised the backers so far.
Yeah, thanks, mother.
And we're gonna get and the Kickstarter is gonna help with kind of new equipment, to help us with kind of like the final costs of this deal, like paying for an FCC attorney, and kind of the closing costs of making it official. But again, we're still waiting on the closing deal from Adams Radio Group, but just know it's coming, and I'm so excited for us to be here on 96.9. So the and so if you go on there right now, you probably will notice dead air. That's because obviously Adams is not. Yeah. So logistically, we're looking probably at hopefully by the fall or the end of the year that will probably be on air. So. So that's, I wanted to share that, since we have, kind of have a break. So, but yeah. So, were you gonna say something?
I just wanted to say that that's really cool news, especially considering how many people could be hearing us every day. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think it'll definitely bring a lot more to our group, and especially for like events like the Autism Walk and the Disabilities Expo. It could even like promote or at least like advertise my karate school events, like my TKA tournaments that take place here in town. More people can hear about it. Besides just people that listen to us in Fort Wayne, because the TKA goes past just Fort Wayne. It goes into other cities like Marion, Muncie, Kokomo, Parker City, Greenfield, Knightstown, and the biggest being Indianapolis. So it goes pretty much all the way from up here to down there. So if we can cover a little bit more down here, I think that could really help out. And I think that's one of the biggest things I like to take away from this radio station and the whole hosting the station at the karate tournaments, is because it's bringing attention to both, because both the radio station is bringing advertisement to the karate school, which can entice people to I would say, I don't know if entice is the right word, but basically it could make people more interested in coming to the karate tournaments and supporting everyone who competes there, and 2, it can also support my school itself, and people might be inclined to actually come there to train, because it's like, wow, this radio station's promoting this karate stuff, so it's probably a big deal. So yeah, it benefits both sides, and I think it's really nice that I do that for both sides, because on the one hand, I'm supporting people that relate to me as a person, and people that relate to me in terms of my passion, which is martial arts. So it's nice to support both.
So mark this in your calendars, because we'll be definitely promoting the Kickstarter in a big way. May 9th, 2026, that's this year, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum. That's going to be where the Disability Expo is going to be this year. It's free to get in. You just got to pay for parking. Well, actually, no, you don't even have to pay for parking. You just, exactly. You just say that you're there for the Disability Expo. Will and I will be there. And I'm sure we can probably possibly get Caden and Johnny to come join us. Obviously depending on your schedule, but So but and we're going to talk about. We'll talk more about this in the next couple of weeks, because we want to fine tune the Kickstarter, but we want to know what are some physical awards, or I guess digital awards, that you guys would want for for pledging to back this station. Like one of the things we're thinking of is a T-shirt. A founder, plaque, with everyone's name on it, including businesses, so like T-shirts, pins, stickers, whatever.
I think a plaque would be a cool idea, especially considering we get plaques at the TKA banquets, and I've even got some myself. So because it's an award that you can have hanged up anywhere, and you'll always see it every day. Also, just to clarify, when is the Disability Expo again? May 9th. I do have a tournament that day, but I am more than happy to skip it for this, because this is a sort of a big deal for the group, and I can always just show up in the next tournament next month. So yeah.
Exactly. So So but I'd say right now, I think mid-April, I think is when we're going to launch the Kickstarter, because we want to make sure that the Kickstarter is either in its final days of the Kickstarter, or it's just starting. But yeah, it's something we're excited about, and we're already also on the vendor list for the walk in September. I'll have to give you guys a date for that. Which if we're still fundraising, because we honestly have 180 days from the time that we file with the FCC to come up with the rest of the down payment. So I strongly feel like this is happening. This is going to happen. So, but again, we'll talk about the Kickstarter more when we launch it, to kind of get feedback. So if you guys are watching this video on YouTube, in the upcoming days, you guys can kind of give us ideas. Obviously, Kaden loves the pin idea, because you can never have enough pins and a lot of stuff. Yeah, exactly. So, we had some extra time here, to kind of jump that, or to kind of squeeze that topic in. But yeah, so we're gonna spend the next 15 minutes or so talking about Magic the Gathering. Yes. And then stay tuned towards the end, because we're gonna talk about Lent and what you're doing for Easter. Which I cannot believe that we're already almost to Easter. Yeah. But sorry, that was work. But anyway, but yeah. So, Kaden, you want to take it away?
Well, yeah, obviously, because I'm the one that knows this more about anyone else here. Because my bone to pick with you is with the I got over it, but with the where you overkilled my lava runner for no good reason. You had the opportunity to stop damage with one of your creatures. Yet you were like, oh, I'm so scared about this being a 2/2. So Jay, I'll let you comment there first.
I don't know. Okay. I'll let everyone know. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Oh, he's leaving. Okay. So I forget what you had, but it was a wall. Well, I can't remember. It was a blue wall, or defender, which was a 3/3. So I first played my lava runner, which I believe it's if you have 2 or 3 instants in the graveyard, it gets haste and a +1 to damage. So I played that first. Did him 2 damage on turn, or did 1 damage on 1 turn, and then he played his 3/3 defender. Okay, that's fine. I'm not attacking because of obvious reasons. He then played Overkill, which did 9,909 damage. And you were so scared of it becoming a 2/2. That was the big reason why he did it. He then played Overkill, which did
caught in the act.
Not even caught in the act. I had way better options. I had a 5/5. I had 3 5/5s in my hand, and they obviously he didn't know about, but
Yeah, exactly. Was that Was that the game that we played on Wednesday night?
It might have been. I don't remember.
Oh, okay, okay.
They all blur together. The fact I always have to explain certain things to you.
My bad. But well, I don't. I mean, I say I don't know because I don't really know what was going on through my mind in the moment. But like, which hey, you know what? It happens. Okay, it happens. It happens, Caden.
What did the table ever do to you?
I'm just laughing too hard.
It happens, Caden. Help! He's falling over. It's like the time that his mom. It's like the time his mom like asked me like for me to smell like for me to smell a soap because or a hand soap because Caden can't smell.
If you see some of our games, you'd be like, you understand my rage with him some days.
Yeah. Some days he can definitely some days he can definitely choke me in a matter of speaking.
There's some days where like, oh, that was a fun game. I just want to grab you when I'm through.
Yeah.
Like, I've explained this to you
How many times?
and you still.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly think I just kind of Caden, I think I just kind of get lost in the moment sometimes, because ultimately I think I have like a good game going on, because the first two games that we played Wednesday night, that was pretty crazy. But and kind of keeping on with the topic of Magic the Gathering, because I wanted to kind of bring this up. Any hobby, including Magic, can be expensive. So we want to know, and this is when we're talking about you guys out there in Radio Land, Video Land, because we see the viewers. How much is the most expensive thing that you've spent on a hobby that you actually like? Because Magic has just released, or not just fairly recently released Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, and then Strixhaven is coming in like
April, yeah.
April sometime the 17th.
Yeah.
That's a pre-release.
Yeah. And and Kane's looking into Commander deck, and you could say that he's kind of price shopping to see who has the better deal. Amazon has it like for like, or it had like what 50?
I mean, it was somewhere around there.
Yeah. He's kind of price
Like,
shopping.
there was, I did like when I found I found a list, but it was said unavailable.
Has it like for like.
Well, I went to I did it on Google.
50?
And then it was somewhere around there. Yeah, and there's the pizza bundle.
Yeah, that's $99.
But like I said, it didn't show up because I don't think it was a listing for it. So I did it on Google and it showed.
Yeah, so I'm gonna look that up. But yeah, what is the most that you spent on anything? Johnny, do you want to go?
Do you want to go?
Easily, honestly, it wasn't just me. It was mostly my mother. Because today was the release of a new Pokemon set, Defend Order, and upcoming with like April 22nd, they're releasing a new set. And easily, it's Pokemon. Today was the release of
I've done that before too.
Defend Order. My mother spent $67 on the new set just for me. And easily, it's Pokemon.
You got Galactic Toys, you got TCG Player.
I guess I can answer the question of what's the most expensive thing I've ever bought for my passion.
Go for
Which I would say probably the most expensive thing I've bought from and this is from the TKA tournaments, and that is that I bought a $70 merch, a custom-made sweatshirt that they offered. It's like it's a very thick sweatshirt, and they could patch certain sticker-based paintings on the sweater. Like one of them, which was on the front, it was basically a TK logo. Then one on the left shoulder was a sort of a Japanese symbol, and then there was another Japanese symbol, but it was put on the right hood area. So that in total was $70, which I definitely can see why. And yeah, that was the most I've ever spent at a TKA tournament. But hey, I've been part of the organization for now 4 years, so hey, why not enjoy it a little bit? Because that's sort of just the goal of this year, is that I'm just doing what I enjoy in the organization, not really caring about what results I get out of it.
And a big congratulations to you for 4 years.
Is that I'm just doing what I enjoy in the
What about you, John?
Not really
well, so I'm I'm definitely kind of still spending a lot on movies and a lot of movies and TV shows. They just announced, and I know all of you are thinking it's on Netflix. Why not just watch it on Netflix? But they just announced that they're coming out with a limited edition Stranger Things 4K set on Blu-ray. So I sold my or I just turned in my collection that I got from Target to Mega Replay to make room for it. But it's like nearly $200. That's probably the most I will spend on a Blu-ray set.
Back in the day when I was crazy with Pokemon, the most I've done was like those Elite Trainer boxes. They're like they're $60 each.
Yeah.
Back when I got them, I have like 7. In case anyone's wondering, I think I have like 6 or 7 of them. Now that's not all at once. I want to point that out. Not all at once. Because when I say, oh yeah, I have 7. I got like 6 of these Elite Trainer boxes. They're like all at once. No. Now that's not all at once. I want to point that out. I have to specify that for reasons. Oh yeah, I have 7.
So so obviously obviously it is up there, and there's some people that think I'm crazy for spending $100 on a Cedar Point season pass. So obviously that's usually on like what, a Labor Day sale. And there's some people that think I'm crazy. if there people are mad at you for for on sale, no less. Then yeah. Like I don't think they're the good people there. What, Labor Day sale? Yeah. So either way, but yeah. So and I mean, it's funny that I brought that up because it's already there's already pre-orders for it. So and of course I've already pre-ordered it from Amazon. So technically I haven't really ordered it yet, but because they don't Amazon doesn't charge you until they ship. So but yeah, just kind of back to Magic. Like Magic is so much fun. I'm just now getting into it and kind of getting getting into the groove of it. But yeah, just kind of back to Magic. Magic is so much fun. I'm just now getting into it. I just to the groove of it. So yeah.
I mean, I would go with the season pass because more than once a year, then it's worth it. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's only like what, 2-hour drive anyway, so it's not even that hard to do. I can literally do that in my sleep. I mean, obviously I wouldn't because then I probably would blow a tire again. But blow a tire, you're just not having a sunlight.
Yeah. Try not to do cruise control at all. But yeah. and that's already a problem. There's already a problem running, running into that. But yeah. Exactly.
That's
So,
already a problem.
but
There's already a problem.
yeah. So, So, and I definitely think that once we start broadcasting on 969, we're going to try to get a deal with Summit, comics and things, and probably the Warhammer store possibly. Because those are. Summit especially is a cool store. That's that has stuff in there that I like, and Caden, and
I love that store.
yeah,
Summit especially there I like give me a blank check. Oh boy.
stuff in there that I like, and Caden, but yeah. Okay, all right. So we have the last 15 minutes, which I actually timed out. Do we want to talk about Lent and Easter, and and kind of because besides Christmas, I would say that Easter is a big Christian holiday. And even though I don't go to church all that much, which my parents try to get me to go a lot more. It doesn't really just work for my schedule and other reasons, but Johnny, you wanted to bring this up. What did you want to touch on?
First off, I want to go for a question for the viewers we have. What are you guys going to give up for Lent?
So the question, and you can comment below in the chat.
Or on the YouTube, we'll look back.
Yes, yeah, exactly. What is something that you're giving up? So the question, you can comment below. I don't think I've ever given up. I don't think I've ever given up anything for Lent. Johnny, is there anything that you give up for Lent?
The most thing I've only gave up was red meat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Remind me again, what is Lent?
It's a specific days of holiday that Christians believe. So Monday, Thursday, Good Friday, Ash Wednesday, of course Easter's on that. Psalm Sundays, and it's to celebrate his that the Lord has risen. Ash Wednesday, of course Easter's on
that. Because Easter, actually Holy Week starts technically Sunday, because Sunday is Palm Sunday, and then you got Thursdays, Monday, Thursday, Friday is Good Friday, and then next Sunday is Easter. So, I'll tell you one thing I really appreciate, especially with my parents usually going to church early on Easter morning. I'm so glad that the time change, the spring time change, this year it happened already, and usually Easter kind of tends to follow on the day that we change times, back in the past. And so I'm glad that we're not, losing an hour's sleep on the one weekend that a lot of Christian people wake up early for.
Yeah. Speaking of extra sleep, I actually do, in fact, the company I work for, they actually do honor Good Friday, and we get the day off on that day. So,
yeah.
Which I'm sure there are certain businesses that do. I'm just not 100% on how many. So it's kind of nice that they do it. So
there's a lot of blue collar jobs like manufacturing and warehousing that actually close on Good Friday.
What do you mean, blue collar?
There's a lot of the type of work that you do well, where you're working,
like labor work.
Yeah, labor work. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Although it's not always the case. You would think Amazon would close on Good Friday or even
like labor
Easter.
Work?
Yeah, labor work. I actually had to, I told my HR manager, like, who wanted us to switch from Sunday to Saturdays, you know what, just, can you take me off Sundays and have me work Saturdays? It's really worked out a lot better. Because because again, even though I don't really attend church on a regular basis, I do attend church on Easter, usually Christmas, and that's really
yeah. And I guess as far as the whole, like, if they did allow you certain days off, I guess the reason why they may not as much at, say, like, factories maybe is because Amazon is sort of a kind of a mix between labor and non-labor, because on one half you're just driving a car and just dropping off boxes, whereas the other half is where you're probably packaging the boxes and all that. So I guess it depends on what part of the spectrum you're on as far as, like, what more of either one you're doing. You might get more of a break than someone else maybe, but again, that's just me speculating. I don't actually work at Amazon.
So the 5 days that we're closed throughout the year is Thanksgiving, Christmas, the day after Christmas,
that's just me
New Year's Day, and 4th of July.
So the 5 days that we're closed throughout the year, I only have Christmas. That's Kroger for you.
After Christmas.
I guess the main holiday I experienced where we had a break at my place or the business I work at, basically it's when the day of Christmas Eve, and then it goes on until July 4th. So basically that's when it starts and that's where it ends. So sort of deal. So
I guess that's
the last
where Hanukkah comes into play.
July 4th. So basically from that's when
and,
it
starts,
and
and like at some of the businesses that I have delivered to, like out in Auburn and Kendallville, those are blue collar jobs, and they close for 2 days or for 2 weeks for Christmas.
For me, I believe it was like a week and a half that we had off, because I believe Christmas Eve started on a Wednesday, and then we came back like the week after on like next week after, because I think the 4th of July was on the weekend. And then we came back after the weekend was over, so it was like 10 days. So next week after, because I think
So, but yeah. So for those of you that do, practice Lent, and attend Easter services, I think a lot of what I kind of relate with Easter is the food, because I'm a big food guy. I love food, even though I may not, or even though I may not look like it, because I think a lot of
which actually, fun fact, one of my co-workers, like, he actually, like, once said, like, do you go to the gym? And I'm like, what gave me away? Because I often wear, like, oversized t-shirts to where you wouldn't really notice. But he said what gave me away was that I had that sort of, like, broad shoulder look, which I guess that's one area I can't entirely hide. Like, for example, when you wear shirts like these, they mostly sort of, I guess they're more snug at the top, but then they taper down, and like right here, like you wouldn't really know, but it was kind of cool that he did still have the eye to notice, because like it doesn't just take a normal eye to notice, like, oh, you actually look like you lift weights, even though like you hide it really well. So usually the casual like viewer wouldn't really notice that.
Yeah, I actually remember one time at work, I was IDing somebody, and I took his card, and he asked me if I played cards.
Usually the casual
and yeah,
viewer
like,
wouldn't
and
really
I told him
notice.
I don't play cards. I play Pokemon cards and Magic cards, and that's what not what he was asking, because he saw like dealers like casinos. I don't know what dealers do, but apparently that's what I do something similar. So.
Yeah.
Which I mean, like the dealers for the cards, they usually are doing. They're using like handful of cards.
I don't know what I did.
Yeah, the dealers for the cards,
Even the one time I went there, it was only one time. It was on a cruise ship and during blackjack, and although it was my first time, I still managed to make $100. So, and I was just like, yeah, that's enough for me. I'm not gonna do this again. I'd rather earn my money, you know. Although it was my first time, I still managed to make $100. And I was just like, yeah, that's enough for me. I'm not gonna do this again. I'd rather earn my money, you know.
Wise words.
I mean, it was alright.
Why?
Find it interesting and all that. It was fun for me.
How long did you spend there?
A couple hours. I can't really remember.
Okay.
I wasn't like. I mean, it was nice. It was cool and all, but like, I didn't see any.
How long did you spend? Yeah.
My mom loved it. The slots and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's just,
Okay.
I wasn't like.
Just not your forte, which.
Cool,
I really think the biggest thing, the biggest thing with that is, it's important just, to cut your losses, when you're, I really think to cut your losses. The biggest thing with that is it's important just because that's the biggest thing that I need to learn, both in Magic and in Canterbury. I really think it's quit lamb.
It all goes back to MGG.
It's important just because that's the biggest thing.
Run from it, dread it. It always comes back.
I really think it's quit lamb. Okay,
it all goes back to MGG.
So we gotta run here because we're starting a
run from it,
movie
dread it. It
also
always
in
comes
a
back.
couple minutes. Hopefully we have a good a lot of people show up.
All right.
So we gotta run here because we're starting a
run from it.
we appreciate everyone
It always
I
comes
appreciate
back.
a couple minutes. Everyone from Johnny running the video and technically the sound. Will. So we gotta run here. Caden and my again. I mean we appreciate everyone everyone. So team on me and technically the sound. So Will. Yes. So we gotta run here. Yeah. But yeah, we appreciate everyone that tuned in tonight for a new edition of Amplifying Voices. And believe it or not, I'm excited for Johnny because he wants to go to college. So we appreciate everyone in this room tonight is going to have some kind of hand. And believe it or not, I'm excited for Johnny because he wants to go to college. Very excited for. Again, keep it mark it on your calendar. Is going to have some kind of May the 9th of this year, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum. Again, keep it absolutely free to get in. Who knows? Some kind of May the 9th of this year.
And if you're from YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So you can hear more for us and be notified whenever we go live.
Who knows?
Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.
And if you're from
Thank you, Professor.
YouTube, and we have subscribe button.
All right, have a good night.